Web3 podcast. Daddy Phil, and then Mint City will be on in just 1 second. So hang with us. Gonna get some tunes. This is some warp sounds, some NFTs that I own, so I might as well use them. Let's see if I get the play button going here. Here we go. All right, all my aliens, apes, and zombies, welcome to this Welcoming Wednesday, where I welcome in guests from the NFT Web3 community to talk about their projects, to talk about their goals, their ambitions, whatever they're trying to do. As long as they're positive in the space, I'm going to give them a platform to speak on and talk. And with us today, a couple things. I'm going to let some guest speakers to come up here. Web3 Weekly is going to be joining us shortly. He's finishing up his webcast does on Wednesdays. We are in Decentraland as well. If you look at the pinned tweet at the top, we are live action. You can watch this video on not only Paris Hilton NFT, you can go over to January's Twitter handle as well, Utah politician, and you can see live action there as well. MetaView's LinkedIn. So we are getting the live and direct and almost kind of making a little bit of history as we're doing this, because lots of first ofs, lots of things that are new to the space. And as we can see right here, look at the tech savvy right here, U.S. Congress, and you're streaming it live on your website right there, on your Twitter handle, excuse me. And it's on my Twitter handle, multiple handles right there. I want to do a mic check. Web Pod, are you there? Web3 Pod, are we there? I know he's wrapping up his show from his podcast that runs from 8 o'clock Central to 9 o'clock Central time. Looks like we got room filling in here. Going to invite some friends up to be hosts and co-hosts in case anything to the top. And then we also have our friend Maskey. Maskey, we got some POAPs going in there. I know you're just listening today. Where's POAPs going to get dropped here, Maskey? Are they going to be dropped in Discord? Let me know. Start dropping them in Discord if you have, because we do have a POAP for this occasion. It might be in my Discord. You'll be able to see live and direct. So we got a peace sign from Maskey, 100%. Start firing off some of those POAPs, proof of attendance protocol, that you are here on this Wednesday, August 10th, for another historical run at things. Web3 Wednesday. I'm going to give you another second. If not, I'm just kicking on. You can tune in when you need to tune, my friend. Web3 podcast is good. We can actually probably just go in there and kind of hijack his podcast and listening to what he's going on. He's got some Amazon Music. He's linked into the game. Let's see who he's got tonight. Yeah, right there. So he'll be here in a little bit. He's probably wrapping up right now. He has the nightly toke going on, and I guess it's a bong giveaway tonight for him if you're into that type of thing. But we are going to transition over to something that caught my eye, that I reached out, and then their team actually reached out to me. One of January's friends, Josh, reached out to me, and just like lots of firsts right here. Fundraising alert for our good friend, January Walker, and it's going through Mint City NFT, who is also here as well. I'm going to do less talking and pass the mic over, the stage over, all the Web3 stuff over to someone who's getting tech savvy in the space and is actually minting NFTs to support the campaigning fundraising cause. January, welcome to this wonderful Welcoming Wednesday. Tell everyone at home a little bit about yourself and what we're going to accomplish here.
Hey, Noah, thank you so much for having me. This is incredible and exciting. I cannot thank of another politician that has campaigned in the metaverse up to this point. So I think that we are actually breaking history with US politics. So nice job there, amazing. And we're doing quite a few things that have never been done before. So I indicated well, actually, let me take a step back and introduce myself first. So my name is January Walker, and I am running for U.S. Congress out in Utah's District 4. And I am a technology candidate. I've been dubbed the blockchain candidate, and I work within the digital identity space, specifically self-sovereign identity and decentralized identity. So very, very passionate about bringing this technology, not just from the privacy sector, but to the public sector. And I indicated as I was going through and campaigning through Twitter Spaces that I really wanted to do an NFT drop. And the Cardano community just stood up and they rallied around. They found Wit Spaces that went ahead and designed our NFTs, and they pulled together Mint City CNFT as well. So excellent job. Everything just came together, and they minted these for us. And we actually have a launch happening on the 13th. We are going to have 4 types of NFTs. And where this is different from typical NFTs, normally you have a limited number, but because this is actually a campaign donation fundraiser, we are going to have different price points. So there's $50, $250, $1,000, and then a full donation of $2,900. And all of this will be converted to ADA, and we'll also later on have a donation for US dollars as well that connects in. But you'll be able to go through and pick up some of these NFTs. Did you want to scroll down and we can look at a couple of them?
Yeah, actually, I'm pinning them on the tweet right now. Sorry, I was so sidetracked because I'm just fascinated about this and the cool thing. So at the top, if you're listening on Spaces right now, where we can have a look and an opportunity. And I love the different pricing tiers. We have, the yard sign, which is this, iconic in the advertising of politics and politicians and people trying to get the voice out to get votes. And I love that as this like the entry, and that's what you're talking about is the first entry level. And I believe it was $50 donation goes to the cause. I'm getting to it slowly here. That's up in the pinned tweet as well. And the other ones that you have the political button as well. Oh, thanks for the love there. Sorry, I have lots of things streaming right now, so that's why the lag in my scrolling ability. Maybe I should turn off the Decentraland, which you can hop in there and see us in Decentraland. And that's the other thing is all this is being streamed live in DC Decentraland. So another groundbreaking experience in this Web3 capacity. All right, so here we are right here. You can flag yourself launching on August the 13th. The donations, the high end right here, it's an open edition. So we can bring it all in and we can bring it all in. Free weekly. Thank you for tuning in. I knew that you just finished up your podcast. We were going to hijack it there at the end. I'm going to bring you up to speed right now, my friend. We got some historical stuff going on with January Walker at Utah politician. And what it is, it's an NFT drop on Cardano for nations to help fundraise the campaign. I mean, it's just like historical step after historical step. And I've never seen a politician, reached into the Web3 space, let alone have an NFT, minting, fundraiser, etc. What are your initial thoughts from, I'm putting you on the spot right here, my friend.
Yeah, it's actually funny, like legit 15 seconds ago, I just clicked end on the Twitter space I was just hosting. So obviously it's a bit of a different experience. I just joined, but it seems very, very cool. Obviously I did a little bit of research just because I knew I was going to be speaking with January Walker in a little bit. So I did a little bit of research and I knew about the NFTs to help with donations and stuff. But it's obviously a very, very cool idea. I think it's very new and it's very unique. So I think it's something to really talk about. It's something that can grab news headlines and can really help you grow, especially with just getting donations and kind of help your campaign as well. So yeah, it's definitely a very, very cool thing.
And wow, thank you. High praise.
One reason I got into this, and maybe you can branch on this a little, January, is like NFTs, it creates, and Web3 creates an equal playing field. And, in this day and age where, some things are fair and sometimes, people can raise money in different ways. This way, using blockchain technology, you can't lie about it. You can't hide about it. There's no hidden. These funds can be used. There's no hidden ways where funds can be entered because it's all on chain. Maybe do you want to speak a little bit about that, because that's a huge aspect where I think this is going to be a catalyst in things in the future that can come from this.
Absolutely. You are 100% correct. So what I love the most about this project, and what I love most about NFTs and decentralization and this level of transparency that we're bringing to politics, is that myself personally as a candidate, I did not want to have any dark money in my campaign. I didn't want to be bought out. I really wanted to be people centric. So going through and looking for solutions that would allow the people to actually fund directly and be able to receive some kind of benefit and be able to track and do kind of a proof of concept for what we're trying to bring to government was a really big deal. And as we go along, because this is just the first stage, in the future you'll be able to actually see where all the campaign funds are being spent, and so that it's being used responsibly and people aren't being wasteful or buying people out. And we can also track misspending as well. And I think that this is pioneering the future of politics, because as other campaigns follow behind, because especially if this is wildly successful, as people get on board, as other campaigns follow behind, they will no longer be able to hide where all of their money is coming from. And you'll be able to see exactly who is contributing.
You can't hide blockchain. It's all right there. If you want to right now, there are POAPs. These POAPs are in my Discord. You can get to that Discord link very easily in my bio and click in there. You can, this is from Maskey. Maskey, thank you very much. He might be dropping some in the MetaView Discord as well. You might be also dropping some in Mint City's Discord as well. But Maskey, thank you for the POAPs. He's going to keep dropping those in my Discord until they're all claimed up. So claim them. If you're a farmer and want to claim a whole bunch of them, go at it. Have fun with it, because here it is. It's the same thing. It's recording historical data, the blockchain candidate right here, and where it goes, and maybe this POAP is the rookie card for the conversation that have things spur off. But right here, you can get yourself a nice political button. There's probably nothing more historic in the US than those political buttons, but this is a digital button right here. They got Cardano chain for all the Cardano fans out there. Me being a crypto enthusiast, I packed my bags with Cardano actually a long time ago. So I'm selfishly sitting pretty on some Cardano. And then we also have right here the coin, the political coin. So wherever you want to enter into this donation, and you know what, it's helping a cause. That cause is trying to do something new, trying to do something in the Web3 space. And this all lands on, what is that, Saturday? 3 days away. I was talking with Mint City there. I was talking with Mint City there, and he's actually there on Spaces. So if you ever want to chime in, Mint City, just unplug that the mute button on your mic, and you can talk. We'll get you streamed right here on this computer, and we'll get you out there. But entering into that, was this something that you want? January, is this something that you wanted to do prior to the campaign, something part of the campaign, or something that like, hey, we got to add this to our campaign? Where was this in the thought process of, the hierarchy of the campaign?
Yeah, so I started the campaign by following traditional campaign advice, where they said, you need to go through, you need to knock doors, you need to do this. And really is a candidate that left the major parties and said, I really don't care about party politics anymore. The only thing that I care about is the people at this point. Taking that route was very slow, because I had to inform them not only who I was as a candidate, but why I left, what the party was about. And it just takes a long time to build up the kind of movement that was necessary. And so I hit a point where I said, I'm going to do this my way. And my way was leaning into technology. It was amplifying the vision from the beginning, which was being closest to the people instead of being unattainable and unreachable like most of our politicians. I actually wanted to be connected to the people that I was going to represent. And then I also leaned into, like I said, my community, which is that decentralized community. And looking at it, I hadn't considered it initially. I think the first time I really thought about it was probably back in February, March. And then by the time that I said, you know what, I'm just going to campaign the way that I want, and that was at the end of May, beginning of June. That was when we transitioned to all of this. And I kind of put it out there almost in the first week, and here we are.
It almost seems like you're playing to your strengths, your suits, the things that you know. I mean, very similar to, we're all like-minded individuals on this stream because we all understand the value that Web3 can bring, the different things you can do with layered contracts, and it's like the new stuff that's out there that people haven't even seen, and you're bringing it. You're at the forefront of it.
Exactly.
I gotta ask. Do you mind if I kind of chime in and ask a few questions?
That's why you're here, my friend. Go for it.
Awesome. Like, so obviously it's very interesting. This is kind of the first time I've ever hearing of someone using the NFT world to kind of promote and fund their campaign. It's really cool. I think it's obviously with the decentralized aspect, it's kind of cool to see that we're not just taking that dark money, just like you said, you're taking money from the community, which is obviously good to see. I think it's very admirable just to like go out there and say, hey, these NFTs are for pure donation. I think that's really important, just because more and more people will trust you if you're honest. You're not here just to say like, hey, it's for this or this. It's just a donation to help your campaign. Let's say you, obviously we're all here to promote you, we're all here to help you. Let's say you get into office. What's kind of some things you want to focus on that maybe could help this community and help kind of crypto get to where we want it to be?
Yeah, I love this, and I love this question especially. So there are a couple of things I think that as a nation we need to address very, very, very rapidly. And the first thing is inflation, which a lot of people are saying, hey, that's controlled by the Fed. But Congress actually plays a direct part in this when it comes to government spending, how much money we're pumping into the economy, or I should say our reckless spending, because last year I think they found that we lost over $600 billion of taxpayer funds, and it just kind of disappeared. So with that, tying government spending to Web3 will help us identify any of that misspending almost immediately. And there are chains that are very energy efficient beyond even what we have today. So that's going to be incredibly helpful. And then from a supply chain aspect, we've seen proven in the real world by major companies that you can do supply chain with blockchain technology, and it's faster, more efficient, and it tells you almost immediately again when there's an issue that you can address immediately instead of having to wait downstream until your constituent shelves are empty. So from that standpoint, putting in a framework of trust that allows people to adapt to this space is going to be huge, because we have to bridge that pathway of trust. And the other half is we know on the western half of the United States there's a drought. There's a way that we can tie in Internet of Things to water metering and blockchain technology again, where we can actually start to conquer those issues in terms of water waste. Specifically for this community, though, and I think that this is something that has a huge arena of desire, especially with the legislation that's coming out, with the SEC cases that we're seeing, is to finally have a champion and have a voice from somebody in Congress that actually understands the technology, that understands what you're going through, that understands the benefits and where we need to go, and what happens if we are hostile towards Web3. And by being able to sift through ambiguity, that's actually one of my specialties, is sifting through very complex situations and carrying people out to the other side. By being able to sift through the ambiguity of Congress, you will finally have a voice and a champion.
Ooh, I love it. I love it. And that's, that's what it is taking care of your community members, taking care of the constituents that are, helping drive the cause and the narrative. And, I always say like Crypto Novo isn't one person, it's an aggregation of all my friends, all my followers. Like it's not me here. It's, getting people like Phil Daddy in here to help talk about how to advertise in decentralized. Phil Daddy, I want to bring you in. I love the filter, by the way. I'll plug ourselves at avatarx.xyz for the filters on these. We did do a takeover on Monday in the Voids where we had these filters out there, and we actually like broke their disc, have people watch the stream anymore. But from your view, from the outside, and maybe you can put a little context. You're not from the States, are you? If you're from waking you up early, you're probably drinking coffee from your neck of the woods, right?
Yeah. I'm from Georgia. Thanks for having me. As January said, I just want to touch on a few points there. It's really important that you're directly connected with your supporters through blockchain, and that gives I would say that gives an edge over these politicians who are not tech savvy at all. And it's really refreshing to see somebody who's Web3 friendly and as well as independent, like getting things into your hands independently, which Web3 has that opportunity. And I can't wait to see more of this. Yeah. And as Nova said, we are doing first this decentralized advertising marketplace in the metaverse. So it's the landowners, the individual landowners in the metaverse that host NFT billboards on their land, and they can charge their own prices, indicate their locations, whatever they want to be advertising on their land. So it's completely community-driven platform, and we want to connect to as many billboards and advertising objects as possible in the metaverse, and as many metaverses as possible. So yeah, it's really interesting how you and that's my question, I guess. How do you see politicians in the Web3 promoting themselves in the metaverse and Web3 in general?
I was on mute there for a second. There are going to be so many incredible things that come out of this technologies. In the future, individuals actually taking their entire person and putting it into metaverse, I see that as huge. I do see advertisements as a part of this. Instead of having the billboards that we have today, you'll have the billboards of the future. Of course, with the NFTs that we've created, you can take those and drop those into the metaverse and kind of have staking signs around, which I think is going to be really cool. I think that we are also going to see more community platforms where instead of tweeting at you, they'll put themselves in the metaverse and they'll have these conversations similar to what we're seeing now. And I don't think that the crowds that we have today, all of them will adapt to this, but that is what we're trying to pioneer here, is politicians that actually place themselves closest to the people and communicate with them on the level that they truly need to. So very awesome things coming our way in terms of technology. And from me and my standpoint, what I was really hoping to do, and I hadn't quite shared all of this with Novaverse yet, but well, let me take a step back. I've reached into the community and I said, hey, when I get elected, because we're going to say when, right? When I get elected, yeah, right. It's excellent because we're actually showing a probability of winning. It's a small probability, but if we just brought the full force of the community and shocked everybody and banded together, there's so many of us that we would actually win this time around. So you could have representation in as little as 4 months. But I've asked the community to build out a way where It for sure on a constituent level, the people that I directly represent, that they can go through and give me feedback on the bills that we have and everything like that. And then in terms of this Web3 coalition that I've been building, that we could get all of these individuals the ability to vote as well, so that they could actually give direct feedback and input into the legislation that's coming up and make their voices heard. And in terms of metaverse, what I see is an opportunity to continue these talks. So I think it was FDR that had weekly chats. I want to have that, but I would like to have it daily, so that we're always on point and connected in. And I think that this would be a great platform to do so.
Well, you can easily do that. And we're seeing that technology now, and I'm seeing it expand where like I can hop into a Discord and restream everyone in Discord and have those questions asked, have those things brought up. Share POAPs. Speaking of which, you can get a free POAP, free NFT. You just have to hop in that Discord of mine. Oh, I got the big picture on you, Web3. Just hop in that Discord of mine, and he's just dropping the POAPs right in there. If not, if you're screen sharing this, you can actually just take the back codes off of that. Those are all codes, the last 4 or 5 digits and letters off those codes. So if you don't have a POAP, and don't worry, January will save you one. So we'll get you the code for that later. And anyone watching that needs that, we can get that. If not, bug Maskey. If you don't know who Maskey is, start bugging Maskey. Start DMing Maskey. You can find them out there. Maskey may say,
yeah, let's get a couple of those. I want to get one of these delivered to Andrew Yang. Maybe like one other person with the forward party, and then Josh and myself, because I think that would be great to have. Can I tell a story about the POAP image that you guys selected?
Yes, please do.
Awesome. First of all, I was absolutely delighted to see that you picked my droid, my robot, as the first POAP here. This robot, I am the first politician that has a robot, and that really leans into being the technology candidate. And the reason that I went forward with this is because a lot of times you have a group of people following you around. It costs like $3,000 a month to start, and they just carry stuff for you. But with this robot, you can open it up, and I put all of my stuff in there, and it just had that one-time cost. So it shows the efficiency of technology. And now those team members that would have been just following me around and carrying stuff can actually go out and do other tasks, just to show that we don't have a lot to fear from automation, and it really allows us to capitalize on our human talents. But beyond that, and it follows me around through the same technology that drones do. It just has cameras on the front. But we've been going around trying to get it named, and one of the names I actually really like, you'll have to tell me if you agree, but it's February, and it's because it follows January. What do you think?
I love it. It's almost like your shadow. That's perfect.
I like that. That's funny. That's cool.
Awesome.
Is
it your dad joke?
Don't mind my ignorance, but can someone kind of explain really quickly what exactly a POAP is? This is my first time. I've heard the name kind of thrown around, but please enlighten me on everything it is.
Yes, because this is all education too. All right. On the bottom, I have a little ticker going. You get a free wearable from myself. It's in my Twitter bio. You have to go in. All this is in Discord. So in Discord, in Crypto Novo's Discord, which I'll pull up right here, and I'll get it on the big screen. On the left-hand side, there's just a general chat. Sorry, I'm trying to get the big screen up here. Click a button. On the left-hand side, there is a general chat. All right. In that general chat is POAPs that Maskey is just dropping. When someone claims it, he'll drop another one in there. And what a POAP is a free NFT for proof of attendance protocol, meaning that you actually showed up to an event and actually did something at that event. And now these POAPs are on a side chain, so they are free.
Yeah.
So you can make them for free. So you're going to probably start doing this next week for your web episodes on your own web handle there. And you can distribute them as well. So you can build them and distribute them. So these are free NFTs that get out to people. So you, where they're sent out is a not custodial wallet. So everyone, so they actually have ownership of it until you get it into your own wallet. So it's a great way to onboard people where you can create your own POAP wallets and get these NFTs in there. Now the values on them
Yeah.
are not much. It's more of like putting on your ticket stubs and like showing what you have in the game.
Yeah, it's kind of
So,
like going to a coffee shop and you get that little card and you show up 10 times, they give you free coffee, stuff like that.
Very similar, but this like shows like where I've been. So like Monday, this was the Voids one we did. We brought our AR filters into
Okay.
the Voids. So it says I was in Decentraland at this date and this time and experienced this type of activity.
Okay.
So if you want to rewind, like you can go back and there's some in here like this is a Nouns DAO poem from the Super Bowl. So from the Super Bowl ad, you were able to claim these. So like there's different experiences on this, February 13th, Noundish at the Super Bowl number. So I got number 5 a lot. So this was
with a rally attendance, for example, at a political event in the metaverse, let's say, that you've attended.
Correct.
10, yeah.
That you're at this political function, that you're at this dinner party. So that they can also be
the community aspect, like January said, it was really spot on. I like that point of view because it really changes with the ownership in Web3. There comes this much higher loyalty towards the person that's been elected, and there comes there's more involvement from the community themselves because there's ownership. There's this ownership part, and there's this technology part. So I think that's very monumental. So yeah.
Yeah, it's really an easy way to onboard people. It's a really easy way to get people engaged. This one was a QR code that I scanned at Art Block's Samsung party at NFT NYC this year. So you go in there and it's just on the wall, and then you get the you get the POAP that's there, that proof of attendance of your protocol. These can also be placed in Decentraland. Plugged into Decentraland over here, where you can have your POAP in Decentraland, and there could be a kiosk. I don't have a kiosk in here yet, but you can have a kiosk in there where you can claim the POAP. So this is something similar to that. This is different than a POAP. So in Decentraland, you can come here, and this is very similar to a kiosk, where this is a turning emblem that is turning, and this is called NEAT. So this NEAT is another thing, just like a POAP. All right. So this is live action. All right. I'm live actioning, minting an NFT, the first political NFT in Decentraland right now. And this is, I got to get maybe a little bit closer here.
Political advertisement in Decentraland ever?
That might be right here. MetaView, I think we're guys to the punch on the billboard aspect of it, but
yes, to our platform.
Yeah, you got to get close to it. You hit the V button, so you're at first person. Oh, I might need to be close, a little bit, a step closer here, or might need to be forward. But these NEATs were created Decentraland developers pretty much in the place of a POAP. So now you have a visual image, and you're creating engagement with Decentraland. All right. So this one you click, and you'll actually have to encode here to make sure that you're a Homo sapien and you're not an alien, ape, or zombie.
Which is also fine.
Hit enter button when you get to that place. X to R2, and the reason they do this is so they don't have bots farm these, because you have a bot come here and just take all of them. So look, I got the NEAT claimed. That NEAT is going to go to my OpenSea account. There we go. That was the first political NFT advertisement that was minted in Decentraland that I've known about. There could be out there, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that is the first one that has ever happened.
You made history, yes.
We made history, all of us. It takes a team.
Where are all of our news organizations? This is amazing. This is huge. This has never been done before. I am celebrating. I don't know if you're celebrating. I'm definitely celebrating.
I was just sending out a tweet myself there a second ago. So I'm in my Novoverse account right here, and I'm going to see where that NEAT is. Sometimes the metadata might need a second update, but the transfer should be over there. I'm going to go into my hiddens right here, There again, this is educational thing. So if you ever had a wearable hidden delivered to you, it might show up in hidden. And sometimes people put their ENS names out there, and the things are in their hidden donations, etc. So if you look over here on my right here, January, here it is, first minted NFT. I'm sorry, I beat you to the punch. We're going to do this on Saturday, but we got the first one. There's orders already. I wasn't the first one. I got sniped by 3 people.
Oh,
so all right, first one recorded. How about that? Right,
first one recorded.
You got your you got February right there, January. You got your shadow following you in there. And what it is here's the coordinates. It was generated on number 2269. That is my Decentraland plot. You can do Michael Jordan 69. It's the same plot number. Michael Jordan 69. So if you want to remember that, it was created by my host, UMAC, for this date, which is Thursday, but that date is on UTC time. So that's global time. The date is the 11th in Decentraland, August 2022. And then it says what a neat is, a new experience attendance token. Just like a POAP is a proof of attendance, this is an experience attendance token. So now we have 2 mints, 2 NFTs, and I'm now on Q, Mint City. Mint City, you there, my friend?
What's going on?
Yes.
Being all technical and smart. We did. You know what I did personally?
What'd you do, my friend?
Scheduled a week ago. Apparently, I hit the snooze button on the update the old laptop, and when I went to log in today, the computer restarted on me. So I'm on the phone. I'm old school over here on Twitter, right? Because I'm going through a critical update on the old laptop. So
it's funny. It's funny. You say you're old school. You're on Spaces, which is maybe like what 6 months old, but still that's old school in crypto years because we times everything by 7, like dog years. So it's all right. It's all good. And you know what?
You're pushing the envelope out here, crypto. No, you got this thing on Decentraland. You got billboards. You're printing out poets and neats and holy shiza.
Yeah, but the thing of it is I'm not minting. Important minting, a historical minting this Saturday. How about you talk about the little technical aspects of it? I know the website will be the minting page. It's going to be up and running around that day, maybe Friday, maybe Saturday. How about you go into some of the nuances so we can get some more traction? We can get some more of these digital billboards, some of these pins, some of these flags.
Yeah, this one's going to be a little different. Folks, this is an NFT project, quote unquote. This is very specific, right? We're going to have 4 different levels of entry. I'm sure January has shared her sneak peeks of different NFTs. Each one represents a different dollar donation that you can put up. This will be a little bit different than mints you've done. It'll be simplistic in the fact that by Friday afternoon, the website will be up and rolling for January with the link. The link to actually minting the NFT will be dead until Saturday, which we're hoping to host a huge mint party. Hope you all can join us there. And when you have this experience, this is how it'll work. You'll click on it. You'll go to the minting page. You'll be able to choose which one of the NFTs you want to mint. The ADA sale, it'll be charged. Might be sliding if ADA goes up and down during the day because we're trying to track this for political donations. One extra step that you're going to have, because it is a political contribution, is they're going to ask you to verify that you're a resident, name and address. Just make sure that you're a U.S. citizen, because this them's the rules in politics right now. So you will have, it's an extra step that you normally wouldn't do for an NFT. But other than that, it's going to be smooth as silk. If you are new to Cardano, there's a couple places to go to see how to set up a wallet. The one I would recommend, there's a guy in the audience here called Ada Dolphin. He's a co-host with me every weekday morning, 8 to 10 in Spaces. And I'm his co-host, I should say. And he's got a great server, and inside his Discord is a tools channel that tells you exactly how to set up those kind of wallets and stuff. So he's a big help to us.
Hey Ada, I'm gonna put you on the spot. Get that dorsal fin out of the water there. Do you want to talk a little bit about that educational process and how to set up a new one in Cardano, which they're calling Ada, ADA? If you type in $ADA in Twitter, pull up kind of like a hashtag, links like that. It's a change. It's It's a chain just like Ethereum, just a different chain. So the wallet is a little bit different. The NFTs still serve the same purpose. Dolphin, you want to talk a little bit about it?
The onboarding process, I think creating your wallet first is the first step, and Eternal is the one that I have found easiest to use over time. It's pretty much just as, your MetaMask or any other wallet that you would set up. You get your seed phrase that you just send to me. I'm just kidding. Don't ever do that. I hope everybody knows that at this point. That was just a joke.
No, don't send seed phrase. If you're coming back and you're listening to this and you're new, don't send seed phrases.
Ever. Yes, don't ever send that to anybody. That's not correct. However, you do have to write down your 26 words, and you're going to have to enter them in, and you create a wallet. Then the next step in that process is funding the wallet. So you get the ADA, aka Cardano, from your exchange and send it to your wallet, and then you are up and running.
It's a beautiful thing. Make sure you're writing down those keys, because you don't want to screenshot it on your computer. You don't want to screenshot it on your phone. You want to write them down. I recommend using a pen and pencil and paper, because if you use ink and someone spills on that paper, and take that paper and put it somewhere in a fire safe spot, somewhere safe. I recommend making 2 of them, putting them in 2 different locations, but to someone you trust. Dolphin, go for it. Your hand's up.
I also recommend what's called a copper seed safe. So it's actually a sheet of copper that the company will send you. I think they come in packs of 3 also. And they are, I know, water resistant and heat proof up to a certain temperature. So those are something I've found to be beneficial also.
Yes, I've seen those on the market. I'd have people that have seen it. It's like a sleeve that holds pretty much like almost like a business card in there with important information that you might need to keep safe. For instance, 12 or 24 words that keep everything safe in there. Mint City, anything else?
Yeah, just don't miss this, right? One of the things, because this is historical and this is first, is January came in a little late because of, and I hope you get into this part of the story. They kind of changed the rules on her, so I really want to make sure you get a chance to tell that part of your story. Why we're seemingly coming in a little late, because someone tried to change the game because they're a little afraid of us guys, right? And I'm not talking about Cardano. I'm not talking about ETH. I'm talking about blockchain, right? This is not. There's no maxis in this room right now. At least there better not be. Right, January is running for the blockchain, for this technology. The amount of fat that she's shown me that she can trim just by using our technology, just the raw dollars is powerful. The fact politicians tried to change the game on her to expedite her ousting means that they're very afraid that this is going to get popular. So we need to get in there and support all we can. This will make history. When this one is successful, mid-September, we'll be swinging back through with another fundraiser, some more NFTs, and this time we'll have had time to arrange this to be transacted in U.S. dollars, right? So we're trying to push some technology forward as well on the city side to make sure that we can facilitate the people taking back control of our government.
Awesome. Oh.
You want to touch on that at all, January? I knew just in the green room yesterday or whatever, that there was things that were, the bar is moving per se. And I didn't want to get into the politics of things because I would rather talk NFTs, but hey, this is your stage. So why don't you talk about whatever you'd like to talk about in any aspect?
Yeah, thank you. So a couple of interesting things have happened in this campaign. I think that we all understand that when you start talking blockchain technology, and it was given me as advice, don't talk about how you're going to accomplish these really large scale tasks, right? And what kind of solutions are you going to bring to the people, right? Don't say blockchain. And by saying blockchain, that kind of opened a can of worms. We definitely got put on media blackout where we weren't having anybody cover us. To this day, we've had, we did make it to Yahoo with Coinbase, or not Coinbase, with CoinDesk. And then we also have a local paper here that covered us as well, the Daily Herald. But all the major newspapers, they will not cover us currently right now. And that makes this very difficult to scale. So we have to come out like, and it's not just, oh, January hasn't made the paper. It's that this movement, this Web3 coalition is being ignored, and we have to do stuff that people can no longer ignore. And when we look at why we are pushing on this so heavily, and I do want to give a significant amount of credit to Mint City, because we had a couple of people not be able to deliver this project with all the complexities to make it government compliant and FEC compliant. But they really showed up and came to the table on a very tight timeline. And the reason that we are pushing this so heavily and why we're trying to raise astronomical amounts of money this weekend, this next week, is because we have a debate stage coming up. And the debates, to qualify, it's very, very high in Utah at 10%. You have to have 10% polling, which is very difficult to do without the media, right? So that's already a task in itself. But beyond that, we weren't anticipating having to do polling until September. And instead, they're going to start polling, I think it's next week. So this is where the Web3 community shows up. You want a voice, you're frustrated with everything that you've been seeing out in the news, you're tired of the cases. There's some very concerning behavior where they're enforcing non-existent regulation or regulation that hasn't been clarified, which I think is very wrong, and it's not the right approach to any kind of leadership. And this is giving everybody a voice. Like, yes, we're minting on Cardano, but this is Cardano's gift to the Web3 community. And they're just trying to push everything forward. So that's what we have going on here. But that timeline has been pushed up on us. While we are showing a probability of winning, we're still kind of the underdog at this point. And in terms of, I just want to touch base on this really quick. We don't have to go too deeply into it. But the Democrat that's in this race, in the previous election, for visibility and clarification, the last Democrat brought in $5 million. They gerrymandered the district, and now the Democrat has only brought in like 60,000 maybe. So we're only a few thousand behind them in terms of fundraising, which is, holy cow, what just happened
That's
here.
what we love to hear. Let's go.
Yeah,
like
it's awesome. And well, I do feel sad for them because Darlene is really a remarkable woman. But and they were gerrymandered to only 9% of the vote. So with moderates or with purple people like myself, we have 40% of the vote. Republicans have 50%, and this candidate is not popular amongst Republicans. So that's why I'm saying we're showing a probability, and he only has like 300, 400 left in his little piggy bank. So if we come in and say we picked up like $1 million or something like that, and we just hammered it home, we could have advertising everywhere. We could have newspaper articles. We could say, this is the Web3 community. You're not going to ignore us anymore. We are showing up. We are changing the game, and our solutions are real and tangible and solve decades old problems that we've been seeing in our government.
I propose that we have a debate amongst politicians in either the podcast room or the conference room. Web3 Weekly can moderate it. We can get all of them in there talking about whatever they want in this Web3 type of situation to create a name for Utah.
I would love to see that.
How we are, you know.
And I would also touch upon the advertising aspect. We can advertise. MetaView obviously can help advertise in the metaverse, and again make history. And January will be the first politician to advertise multiversally. So not only in the real world, but in the metaverse as well. So running campaigns in the metaverse, which is, and yeah, as you said, I mean, the loyalty aspect of Web3 community is much higher, I would say, than it is for in the real world. So yeah, that support means a lot, and I'm really happy to hear your thoughts and your views on how to help the space advance. So.
Well, I mean, think about that. Like, I mean, I know like probably one of the best and biggest things that broadcasting studios do is based around political debates, around political votes, around politics. And a lot of that money does come in during voting time. And a lot of that does get swayed by who has the most money and who can get the most airtime and who can put their face on that image. So you're just there all the time. And the message might get lost just because money's in the way. Well, MetaView, how about you talk a little bit about that and like maybe how different voting, different sides of things and works into advertising and how that could be a direct stream market for you guys in the metaverse. I mean, right now you can have a third-party movement that can almost take over a metaverse and capture the like-minded individuals that kind of have a little bit of money, maybe compared to other branches that are out there.
Yeah, definitely. And I would say, even though it's a bearish market, people still in the Web3 by and large, people have money and they can afford to support causes that they believe in. When it comes to advertising, we're trying to give people the full ownership of the platform. We don't want to have these centralized corporations take over as they have in the real world. So what we're trying to do is give the owners, which are landowners, the ability to restrict content. For example, they can restrict content that goes on their billboard, and they have a say on what they're advertise, what their billboards are advertising. And we're moving on completely community-based ways, and we're asking the community. We're having weekly community calls and getting their feedback on how the platform should develop. And it's really exciting times. I think the Web3 community really has a lot to give in terms of governance and in terms of the contribution of trust and supporting basically the real issues, and they can really make a change. So I'm all for it, to be honest.
Awesome. I love that.
I have a question for you. Okay, one, I'm gonna rip off some tape here. We have a billboard. Let's see if I gotta click the right button here. Let me pull this up. Yeah, Novoverse has a billboard. I want to see how things work. Now, I think one great way to pull people into the Novoverse is creating history, but also having something to market. And why not put it out there just for, honestly, selfishly, this is for the Novoverse and the people that are Novoverse, is try to get the news headlines that maybe a certain politician is advertising using a billboard in Decentraland.
Yes.
Now, Daddy Phil, I know the answer to this question, but is this something that we can do?
Yes, definitely. That is something we can do, and that is also beneficial for as you said, all fronts, because we can take this in Web2 as well and say, hey, we have this politician that advertises it not only in the real world but in the metaverse as well. This is really exciting. We're making history, and we actually launched the landowners platform this week. So any landowner that owns our billboard can already place the billboard in Decentraland. So we've got about more than 200 billboards minted at the moment, and they're going to be scattered throughout Decentraland. That's going to give opportunity to be represented mostly in every district, and especially in the Novoverse. As you can see, our billboards match the style of the Novoverse. So I can't wait. I mean, I'm going to ask my team to come up with a good way, because we're still going with B2B. Like the advertiser side of the platform is not fully up yet. We're working on that to launch it in the coming weeks, but we're still already moving with brands, and we're working, negotiating with brands to start advertising and also generating some ad revenue to the landowners themselves. So landowners are really seeing this utility in billboards, that it's beneficial for the space, it's beneficial for the people and brands that are advertising on the billboards, and it's beneficial for themselves as well, the landowners who are co-owners.
I really love this billboard. This is awesome and so cool. I love everything about it.
Thank you.
I didn't know. Did you make this color for me? I didn't know that. At first, I'm like, man, these are some pretty dope colors. I like it. It kind of looks like the tassel hat. And then, well, tassel hat off to you, my beret wearing friend. I appreciate that. That's some pretty dope.
Beret wearing. Your quips here, Nova, are absolutely phenomenal. You certainly have a way with words.
Well, I was a kindergarten teacher for 21 years, and you have to be quick-witted with little kids. Otherwise, they'll tie you up and carry you out of the classroom. So I actually teach them how to tie their shoes at the end of the school year before they get out, so I don't get tied up for that very point and reason. But you got to be quick-witted, and you got to be knowledgeable and have fun in this space, and that's what it's about. And that's what we're doing here live on the show, is like almost doing a live business meeting. I know that we have spoke just briefly on Discord for, maybe 5 minutes, maybe another meeting before that. But like having these live business meetings, this is how fast the space goes. So like right now, aggregating friends, aggregating historical stuff. What I did and how I got into the NFT space is I saw the historical significant CryptoPunk, seeing it's the first tangible thing that was made off of the Ethereum blockchain. You can actually have as a digital asset, as an art. So I wanted to have that as the rookie card. And then I went through, and like the next thing that I saw was Justin Aversano, who is a photographer, and he was the first photographer to put his film online. So I wanted a Twin Flames. So like trying to find the historical things in this is important to me, because I'm a collector. I like those things. I like seeing new things. I like seeing people who are trying to push the limits. So the billboard is not for any political reasons. The billboard is for historical reasons. And if it's
also, if I can chime in,
go for it, Daddy Phil.
I have a question for January, because I'm really interested. I mean, we're talking with like, I have an avatar speaking. You have a CryptoPunk, and it's amazing that January doesn't feel weird talking with us, to be honest. But because blockchain is so new still, and it's still not mass adopted, I'm wondering if you have like any thoughts how to make it mainstream and for people not to feel weird talking about the metaverse and the virtual worlds.
Oh, I'm so glad that you asked. And Crypto, are you okay with changing the topic to this? I didn't mean to steal your thunder.
100%, man. We're all in this together. AMA, you got it.
Awesome.
Ask
Thank you so much.
We're fireside here.
Yeah, so there are a few ways that we can 100% make this technology mainstream. First of all, for those of you who are just tuning in, starting to listen to this, Web3 is our future. We know that the countries that are quickly adapting this are those that are advancing faster than the countries that are not adapting this. So I can understand having some trepidation around, hey, this is new. We don't know what we're getting into, but we have leaders. We have people that have experience to help guide us through this. And we have a lot of good actors within this space. And there's so much utility. When I think of blockchain and Web3, I think of utility. And as of recently, people have just been saying, oh, it's just crypto, but it's more than that. So let me take you just through a few scenarios that is going to be really helpful. So the first one is we need to bring trust back to the United States, and blockchain technology will help us do that through the ability to vote and have your vote be written in an immutable ledger. Like you cannot change your vote. Once it is written, people will be able to go through and track it. And there's a way where we can add personal privacy to that vote, so you don't see who casts it, but you know, okay, this is a real vote for this candidate. So that's going to be huge, and it expands accessibility around the world. So if we have military members that are deployed, they can vote confidently. Or if you're an individual that cannot get to the ballot box, or you have a disability, you can go through that way. And we've already seen this technology used in Utah's 2020 presidential election. So we were the first to pioneer that. We also, when we look at, this is something that's big in Utah. I know maybe not everybody would agree around the world with this, but Utah is very, very concerned around pornographic material falling into the wrong hands. And by tying this material to NFTs, it actually allows you to add that additional guaranteed layer to make sure that only people that are over the age of 18 have access to this content, which is something that we don't have right now. Right now, you just from my understanding, you just click a button and anybody can get into it, just based off some conversations that I had. Then after that, this is going to be your music, the future of music. It's going to replace MP3s. You'll be able to take a concert with you and you'll be able to mint it there. It's kind of like the Poe app where you attend an event that you could take with you. With these concerts and with this music, you can take that with you forever and have a memoir in a digitized version. And then even beyond that, this is my personal favorite part, the thing that I am so very passionate about, and that is your identity. We have no personal privacy as humans anymore. Everything that you have is out there. Anybody can access it, and we need to take a methodology to bring that back in. And we're seeing that other nations are passing America on this when it comes to their legislation and just protecting their people. So by just tweaking some laws, you can actually take your identity with you anywhere. This means you can have a driver's license that's not just a digital driver's license, but something that is protected with complete security. Right. And it's not centralized on a government database. It's with you. And with that, you can protect the information that gets shared out, your age. It will help in terms of HR. So if you were to go to another company with a click of a button, you can just verify your identity, and you don't have to go through these weeks of painful, like, hey, is this person real? Did they actually have this job? Are these their credentials? You can take your education credentials with you. And we're even seeing it applied to the private sector in terms of farming and transporting goods. So that's supply chain. But there's so many applications and abilities. And some people say, well, we have databases. Why don't we just do all of this on a regular database? And the answer is we currently are, and it's not efficient. It's old tech. It's like 2 decades old, if not more. And sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but yeah, so there's all of this technology that we should be pioneering forward, and we have to pioneer it forward. And you need government actors that understand this, because I personally, and I don't mean offense to anybody that was in office at the time, I trust they did the best that they could with the knowledge that they had. But I do not trust the people that are in office today that made these laws back in 2000, 2001 and didn't do it right and allowed for the rise of these mega corporations that just data harvest us and really lean a little bit too much into our personal lives. And so when it comes to let's think of this space right here within the metaverse. Your entire identity has a digital footprint even today, with your phone, how you walk, how you type, how you talk. So all of that is a behavioral biometric footprint. And none of the laws protect you from these companies collecting this information on you. When you click that I accept button, you don't think like, oh, they're going to track my entire gate, right? You don't think of that. And so we need this legislation. So when you do go into the metaverse, you can ensure that you have that personal level of privacy, and you're not having that information collected, which then can be sold on the dark web, which then makes it so that you can unlock your house, because in the future you'll be able to walk up to your house and it'll just recognize that it's you. And so how do you protect your information? So that's going to be huge. And I feel like I'm rambling on because there's so many applications here.
No, you made a good point there. And one point that I want to touch base on is, like, you're saying that, like, with the digital identity. I mean, look at me. I walk around as my crypto punk, but like, people are like, well, when are people going to fully get on board to Web3? When are people going to, when is it going to meet mass adoption? Well, it's going to meet mass adoption when people are sick of getting their Web 2.0 stuff hacked. Think of how many times data breach has been hacked in every major platform, and every major platform has all of our information. So eventually, like, eventually someone's going to have all of our social security numbers. So like, then what's the point? Now you're going to have your E&S name. That's what's going to be the point. And you're going to hold your own keys because you're not going to be able to trust the big businesses because they are farming our data and we don't know who has that button. And it could be one disgruntled employee or it can be an entire nation trying to get in and get information from us. So sometimes it is able to have those individual links that are linking the blockchain that create that trust in each other. And if one gets separated, well, you know what? Someone else links in rather than someone taking the entire chain off of our neck. So like, yeah, we all get that. But the mass adoption is people are going to have to start understanding that. Do you want to control the button or do you want to have the button be controlled by someone else? And sometimes
exactly. There was one more thing that I wanted to add. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, please do.
No, I was just going to add one more thing to this. And this is in terms of wallets. So we mentioned with your crypto wallet, there's a phrase that you have to remember. In the future, this decentralized identity, and this isn't that far away. Gartner has said that it's going to be $1 billion industry by 2024. So this is almost here. By the time that comes around, you'll be able to use your digital identity wallet to log into your financial wallet, whether that's crypto or otherwise. So that's going to be a really big deal because it's you and your entire person's image that you're able to unlock that with. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was going to say it's so refreshing to see somebody from the political side see this whole utility and really put it into words and into action. So yeah, I'm really excited about this.
We need framework.
I appreciate that.
We need that framework. We need that organization. We need those conversations because things are moving too wading slow. I've always said since I was able to raise my hand and actually know what voting was, and that's a way of voting is sometimes raising your hand, is why don't we have a day off to vote? I just never understood that. And I've always thought like, man, we should just have 4th of July off. Everyone has it off. All you do is go and vote and you volunteer to, you know, be public servants to help the voting machines, whatever it may be. But like, just give everyone the day off to vote. I don't care what party you're in. We have so many days off for all these other things. How do we have a day off so we can go vote? I don't know how many times.
I definitely support that.
Voting? Isn't there a holiday during voting day? No, or there isn't.
You don't get the day off. It's not a federal holiday where you get the day off.
Oh,
you're a fireman. You still got to go put out the fire.
In Georgia, actually, there is in the country of Georgia. It's a complete holiday. Everybody can go and not do anything else. Just go vote. Which is so weird that U.S. doesn't do it.
Brilliant. It's brilliant. That should be the expectation. There's no reason that people should be blocked in any way, shape, or form from being able to cast their ballot if they meet all the requirements. And that I think is a reasonable ask. I'm happy to put up legislation around that, by the way. I have no issues in putting that forward and sponsoring that.
I think it can add to commerce in our. I would be like a holiday day off. Think of how many people would go out and do stuff, and you know it might be the service industry that people might need to work, but you know what, you find different allocations to like the next day. You know, federal employees or people working the polling booths or people working the service industry, they get that day off, so that the next day, you know, you can supplement the people that need to vote. And it'd just be cool as heck to sit around and bring my kids there to vote. All right. So as a teacher, this is what I'd have to do. Gym class canceled. Why? They're using our gym to vote. All right. Well, when do I vote? Lunchtime. What do the kids get to do? Well, they get to see the people coming in, but the parents can't vote because they're taking their kids in and out of school. So like, you don't get to sit there and freaking focus on anything on it. It's just like a big rush. And why do you think that our polling numbers are so low? People used to die to vote in multiple countries, and they're still doing it today. And we're kind of just taking it for granted and almost sweeping it underneath the rug. So I'd be very pro for whoever to say, hey, let's just figure out how we can get a day off to vote. I'm like, why not?
Well, so I agree with that. And I think that that's the beauty of blockchain voting and making it so that you can actually vote from your mobile and start to reach people. I'm trying to keep it away too much from politics, but I do think that when it comes to the younger generation and when it comes to, I would say, moderates within the United States, because we are seeing data that shows that they're disenfranchised, that they're not voting, that they're not participating. I don't think that they've had people to rally around before. And that's huge. Actually, can I share something exciting that's going to be happening?
If it's alpha, yeah, of course.
If it's alpha, okay. So we have a huge announcement that will be coming out soon from the Forward Party. So they have agreed to put me as a candidate that they sponsor. So this is Andrew Yang's the Forward Party. This is the new, essentially the moderate party. And instead of splitting the moderate vote, we're bringing everybody together. And they should be announcing that here shortly. So very, very grateful. This is the first group that is officially hearing about it. I know everybody sees me tag the Forward Party and everything, but this has been months in the works. So very excited to finally, for the first time, be able to say it out loud.
Yeah. That, do me a favor. We recorded that. Let's keep the micro content on that. We can republish that. I actually was trying to get in contact with Andrew today because, there is some momentum going in there. And I wrote, one of them is U.S. politician who is live video streaming in the Novaverse, the Central Land Metaverse, Web3 NFT community to get the traction out there, to get the voice out there, to get that community in there. Mr. Mint City, I know that you wanted to chime in. What do you got for us, my friend?
Oh, I was just giving a woot for that endorsement. We've been waiting to hear for that for a while. Listen, I don't want anybody to get it twisted. This is a call to action tonight, right, folks? So this is our chance to get our voices heard. Guys like Crypto Nova who've been out here grinding, building technology, trying to spread the word about blockchain technology, NFTs, all that good stuff. We have a chance to get our voice heard in politics right now. I don't live in Utah. I'm Skippy. I'm jumping in and supporting Nick Walker because I need that Web3 voice to be heard. I need people to be more mainstream about this blockchain technology, and we just need to get the first one in. So make no mistake, that's what we are here. That's what we're about. We're going to make history and get this lady elected.
And I love how about it the right way, the proper way, doing it so it is certified through the political spectrum, and to make sure you said that you had to add a step of saying that you're donating. Well, that's part of donating to the cause, and those steps are actually tax deductible too. So those things actually do come back to you. And using Cardano,
I don't think it's tax deductible.
All right, I'll hold back on that, but that's perfectly fine. But the Cardano aspect of it, which I love, is this. You're not burning all this money up in gas. Like, you're able to actually take that money and put it towards the donation, put it towards the cause, and it's just not getting, evaporated in the mining rigs. So, I mean, that is a strong reason why, it's good to know other chains that are out there. Very similar to POAP. You can claim a free NFT. Maskey there in the crowd. But I'm going to pin Maskey up here, whatever his tweet is. So if you need a POAP, just DM him. Maskey, you might hate me for this. Follow him, DM him, and he'll send you the POAP for tonight, because we all deserve that, because we are all making history together. And we'll put your
Can we actually click into one of these items here that you have pulled up?
Yes. What would you like to look at?
Yeah. So in the top right row, let's say, you just want to donate, you want to donate a separate amount. If you click crypto donations, so it's the top right. Oh, the other one. So this one is only fiat. That's fine. So this one is only fiat, but the next one, we partnered with this company called Engage Raise. This is brand new technology as well. And part of the reason that it's been so slow, because before we were accepting crypto donations, but it was very clunky compared to this very smooth process that we would like here. And so from this, you can navigate to Engage Raise from my profile, and you can read a little bit about me, what it is that we're trying to do. And I want to make this very clear. There is not a single politician, and I'm definitely tooting my own horn here. There's not a single politician that champions the people more than I do. I am putting power and control back in your hands and giving you a voice in government that you've never had before. And with this, you can donate via US dollars, and you can actually flip over and you can donate in crypto on that website as well. And I've asked them to, so if you scroll up a little bit, so I've asked them to add additional wallets, additional networks to this, chains. They're in the process of working on those. But we are creating solutions for the future, and we are showing up, and we are here for you, and we are acknowledging that you are not alone. So if you would like to contribute, but you're not as interested in the NFTs, that's fine, or you want to do a different amount, this is how you would do that.
January, after the show, remind me, I have a good friend who's over at Avalanche, and he is in business development, and that might help develop business for getting those currencies, circulated a little bit. So remind me, I'll drop his name in there after show. If not, if I forget this, January, have Josh contact me and on Twitter DM, and then I'll drop that contact name from Avalanche in there. I have done some work with Avalanche. They have like the Fittipaldi F1, F3 racing team. So they are linked in with F1 and F3, which is actually electronic car racing. But that's cool. I love to see that, where it's USD right here. You can pay with a credit. And it has crypto. And then down there, 7 different Litecoin. You got buying Bitcoin. You can drop the Doge in there. You got Ethereum. You got Polygon. You got Avalanche. But don't worry about Cardano, because we do have Cardano covered over at Mint City, and you get NFTs with that as well. And then there's also a straight cash donation as well that you can do. And you can do it a monthly reoccurring if you wish to deem so as well. And just organized up there. I love it. In there, you got Instagram, Snapchat, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Clubhouse. You can email. You got the YouTube as well. United Top Party and the website for the Forward Mint. And you know what? Maybe soon we'll have a link to a billboard in Decentraland, because that's the cool stuff I want to kind of progress.
Cool.
It's a one-stop shop. It's all you need.
You got that right. Mint City, I'm going to bring you back on, and we're going to wrap up here maybe in a minute. But Mint City, I want to give you like almost the elevator pitch for what people should be doing on this Saturday. I don't like you. If you want to place a time on things, you can place a time on things. I know how minting goes. Sometimes you need that extra 10 or 15 minutes, but it's not because you're sleeping in bed. It's because you're making sure that everything's ironed out in this fine suit that you guys are making in this space.
Thank you very much for that. Yeah, so we're just a minting company on the Cardano blockchain. We're contacted by January to give this a shot, and this is going to be a unique mint in the sense that we're going to pull it up in the afternoon. We're going to throw a mint party, and there's no limited supply here, folks. Right? We want as much funding going forward. We want to get these NFTs in the hands of as many people as you can, because you're going to want to look back and say, where was I on this day, right? This is going to be a bit of a historical event for political fundraising with NFTs, so you're going to want some of these in your wallet. So we're going to leave it open for quite a time to see how much we can raise for her. It's very similar to most mints that you've done. You go to her website, you'll click on the link, it'll take you to a page. You will have to fill out some information to confirm you're a U.S. citizen, because it is political. And you'll get that NFT, whichever one you choose, right to your wallet, and be able to flex that when January's sitting up there in office, and you can say, I was part of that success. We're just... Go ahead. You
got the political pin, you got the yard sign, you got the flag, you got the coin, each one of them at different entry points, and then it's an open edition, so like think about back to the first pin that was made for a political fundraiser or for advertisement. I don't even know what it is. I'll probably be Wikipediaing it later just out of pure curiosity, but like this is the evolution of that to the Web3 forum. And firsts are first in a lot of capacities. So even if it's not like directly helping out a political fundraiser, if you're just an NFT fan, if you're a historical collector of things, none of this is ever financial advice, but you can't help others. And, just hearing the professionalism in her voice, the kind courtesy, not interrupting. Heck, she even asked me if it was all right to change the subject to something that she was passionate about it. I love those types of things. So, I mean, it's the little things that up to the larger picture. Web3. All right, go ahead, Mint City, go for it.
I'm sorry, I don't know if I had a chance to talk about this, but if you look through January's posts with these NFTs, there's a little bit of IRL stuff too, right? You're going to get sent. There's like the benefits are levels. Anything from stickers to pop sockets to yard signs to, as you work up, there's opportunities to get the political pin physically in the mail. All the way on up to, if you're at the highest donation, you're going to be invited to the elect party. I mean, there is a little bit of utility in here. I know we like to talk utility when we talk NFTs, so January was to cover everything, guys. So just wanted to throw that out there. I don't think we talked about
You ape in, you want to plant the flag, you'll get invited to that election party. You have event access, autograph sign, picture, t-shirt, a button, stickers, the pop sockets, the yard sign. You get the whole kit and caboodle with that. So I mean, it's all layered right there. Web3 Weekly, it's almost just like pulling you in. I pulled you right off of your podcast. You probably clicked 2 buttons coming in here. So it is like shock value. It is like the sticker shock of just like, whoa, like this is where we're at in this space right now. And I've been able to listen to your podcast and the members of your group and how forward thinking they are, and just how quickly you've evolved in this Web3 space of creating a name for yourself. What are your thoughts on this? One, a political aspect, but also two, from an advertising aspect. Cause I mean, that's what this is. This is advertising at the forefront. Man, I can't even think.
No, I completely understand. I think the best part about this is that I mentioned it in like kind of the start, but it's unique. Like when someone starts talking about like political opponents and stuff, and when it comes down to for Congress, especially in Utah or any kind of race at all, if you're able to kind of have that word of mouth advertising of this person is being funded by crypto, this person is being funded by NFTs, not only does this community kind of rally upon you just because you're using what we all love and what we all have passion for to fund your campaign and hopefully make a difference and kind of make Congress better and bring decentralization to the American government, but it's also just something really unique and cool. It's fun. It's a fun kind of icebreaker topic to talk about, and your supporters can be like, hey, like I own something as a part of this campaign. It's not just a thank you letter or a spam email. It's something tangible. It's something you can hold. It's something you can show your friends that, hey, I have like a badge of honor of supporting a certain candidate. So it's really cool, and I'm very interested in kind of watching this, and I wouldn't be surprised if some presidential candidates in the future, when we get down to it, kind of implement this, just because it's very unique and it's a big attention grabber. And I also did just mint that POAP, so you all got me my first POAP, so it's pretty sick.
We minted it out, and that's what it is, the educational process. Look what January is bringing to the table. I want to say hello to Jane Adams. Thank you for listening. Vegas, former U.S. House candidate. I appreciate the listening on this. Please make sure you're following January through this. Also, Daddy Phil as well. Mint City will give you the latest. And then, the Web3 Weekly Pod as well, who's up here as a speaker on Spaces, as you can see or hear. And then as you can see, man, I got a dozen people watching on YouTube. I got a dozen people watching on Twitch. I have some people on Restream right here. We have 24, 25, 30 or so people on Spaces. So this all adds up to getting out there in different mediums too. Visual medium. If you don't have that base, you can go straight to audio, which is just great. And we're reaching all those POAPs. If you don't know what a POAP is, you can hop into my Discord. We have a whole bunch of POAP codes in there. If not, you can bug my friend Mask Mesa. That's what you get for coming on the show and giving these POAPs up. But I know you're super busy, and I thank you very much for creating these POAPs. of February, which is January's shadow, digital shadow there, talking digital identities. And then, MetaView right now, you're going to next Wednesday because we're actually going to be getting the billboards going because that's what I want to do. And when you work in the Novoverse with smart people like my friends and they want to do things together like Gen Out, we can get things going in the common direction. Here's the button I'm looking for this. And I got number 150. I kind of like round numbers, very color coded. So MetaView, how about maybe a preview for next week, almost live business discussion here. What do we want to accomplish with the next week? What should we try to do? What challenge me?
Well, we want to get the word out, and we want to target, I would say specifically landowners in the metaverse, so that they know that there are billboards available that you can place in your backyard and generate ad revenue, also help the space advance, attract more brands and politicians potentially to advertise in the metaverse, and see how this plays out, advance the space.
What I'm going to do, to be fair to everyone or anyone who's listening, just so I'm fair, January is going to get a billboard. If any other politicians from any other parties want to join, I will get a billboard. I will get it fired up for you, and you can place it where you want to in Decentraland. So it's an even and fair playing ground. However, I would like to have some type of discussion with political candidates in the metaverse just for fun. And it could be not even against each other. It can just be simple style questions. What's your favorite NFT project? What's your favorite cryptocurrency? Even if you have those. And if you don't, then you can sit there and learn because like-minded individuals are learning from each other. I'm learning how to put billboards up. I'm also teaching how to get POAPs out, but I'm also learning how this political process actually does work. And it is about funding and how we can fund it better and make it an equal playing field for everyone. So you can go into the metaverse and advertise and know where that money is allocated and going to and where it's coming from as well. With all that being said, January, I'm going to leave you with the stage. I'm totally impressed with everything that you have going on, but that doesn't matter until you get that percentages that you need so that you can be up there and have a fair shake at it. And it's not the shake of turning your piggy bank upside down to get all the pennies out so you can, have a name for yourself in this. It's what can we do to help?
Yeah, thank you so much again. I first want to express my absolute gratitude, not just to the entire panel that's here today, but to everybody that has helped me along this journey, that's taken a moment out, that's supporting me both in real life and in this decentralized community. I truly could not do any of this without you, and we wouldn't be where we are today without you. It is so absolutely crucial that we recenter our government on the people. The focus has not been there, and we need to look at the kind of future we want to have. And what does that look like? And the future that I envision has it where you can go out and spend time in the community and build relationships and not have politics tear you apart, tear your communities, tear your families, tear your friends apart. It's a nation in which the United States is once again leading, where our education doesn't prepare people just for jobs of the past, or I want to say like 50 years ago, because I feel like that's where kind of our textbooks have been. This is my personal opinion, but for preparing our education for 20, 30 years into the future and giving people a real shot at life, and also supporting. I'm a huge supporter of teachers, by the way, Novaverse. I hope that you know that, if nothing else. I think that we should be championing our teachers, and once we bring the prestige back to this job, it's a grueling job, and they shape the minds of the future. There's so many teachers that I had along the way that brought me to where I am today, and I'm just incredibly grateful. And I want future students to have that experience, and we can get out of national debt. We can have healthcare that you don't have to fundraise on GoFundMe if you want to be taken care of. We can have it to where we're spending more time with our families, and that we're restoring the mental health of the United States, and that we're taking care of our veterans. And there's so many things here, and this is just the beginning. but that's my future. That's what I'm offering. And I have a history of delivering these really complex solutions on short timelines. And I hope that you will join me in this plight and saying, hey, this is our greatest champion, and she's tech savvy, and she understands what's coming up, and she's always going to put us first, and she's bringing tools to always make sure that that's a real possibility in which we can always hold her accountable with. So thank you again for your support. I'm really excited for the future. I'm really excited for this, and we have got to step up. If there's ever a time to step up in the history of the United States, this is it, because I can't imagine what's going to happen if we don't have this technology or this legislation or these champions in place over the next 2 years. We have got to start, and we've got to start now. And there's a possibility that we'll be successful.
Some people sit on the couch. You're not sitting on the couch. I see behind you. You're a go-getter, and you're going to get it. And I could tell in your voice that you're passionate about it, and that's just your drive is just gonna go. And speaking with your campaign, I believe it's your campaign manager, Josh, like same thing out of his corner, or like time, sure, yes. Like the answer is yes. How can we help you? How can we help? What could we do of service? And that's what it is. It is a service industry, and it's a service for our nation. And I don't care what political party you like or don't like, as long as you vote. That's pretty much my thing. So then your opinion is at least accounted for. Might not go the way you want, but at least you did the proper process of it. Forward thinking. The reason I wanted to have you on, because I thought it was just cool as F. That was just some cool stuff. I like cool things. I like new things. I like interesting things, and you keep on bringing it and stories. So this is not the end of your story as well. I do have some obligations on Saturday, aka I'm going to the Chicago Bears game. Go Bears. But I'm going to try to get in with Mint City and see what we can have this going on for this minting party, and, have people come in and show off their yard lines. And if, we can get some, just turn on the button and click and say hi to some people in Discords, we'll try to do that this Saturday. But loop back in with me January. Let me know what you have going on. Let me know if there's a debate and someone wants to get you on stage, or put it out there to the other people and say, hey, let's all go into Central. It's good. It's good for all of us. It's good for the state of Utah. I'd be happy to facilitate in that in any capacity, as long as they're good people like you are. And so I appreciate that.
Also, I'm not a U.S. citizen by myself, but I'm definitely going to be rooting for January on Saturday, and we'll see what we can do. Maybe we can set up several billboards at least for a day for January's minting. So yeah, I'll let you know.
Thank you. I'm overwhelmed by the support.
Yeah, send me any links you'd like me to promote. I'm feel free. I am eligible to vote, but I'm in Kentucky, so I don't really know if I can help you much there, but I can definitely help spread the word. So send me some DMs, send me some posts you'd like me to help out, and I'll do whatever.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yes, all of that stuff is going to help, and that's exactly what we need.
And when I was listening to your podcast last week, January, there was people globally tuning into your spaces, asking you very deep political questions about immigration, reform, this and that. And you're very on point with discussions. And the gentleman's just like, well, great. Because when I get my visa, like, I would love to come to Utah. And like that's the acceptance we want in this country, and doing it the proper way. I mean, that's all about it too. We got to do things the proper way, and the blockchain can do it. I have spoken with people who have been in the blockchain for many years, and they know how they can make the systematic changes. I have spoken with an individual who is an immigration officer, and he created something called an Ether card, and actually Ether card turned into a large corporation, which just recently changed their name, but he'd use physical cards on the blockchain to transact with people crossing the border going to and from work. And it was an easier way of doing it that way than actually checking the paperwork. And he had a scan code system he just did by himself, and people trusted him. And it was the same people he saw every day that were hardworking citizens that lived in another country, and they just crossed the border every day. And that was the quickest way he used it. And it was all blockchain technology, so we can track it and you can't lie about it. And that was, Man, that must have been like 6 years ago, 7 years ago. So the technology's there. We just got to use it, utilize it, and get in front of the right eyes. And it might be
I love that we
national.
don't have to fight about these issues. That we can't, like, these solutions are real solutions. We don't have to fight anymore.
Talk about it. And that's the problem is there's too much fighting, you know. We talk about it and get the issues, and it's not the candidate that wins the election, but maybe it's the candidate that learns something from other candidates that can be that bipartisan loop that we're all looking for, because we just want solutions. I don't even care if the solution's wrong. We can maybe fix it the next time around, but all right. I don't want to get too political now.
No,
but
you
I'm
did
passionate
great.
about it.
Thank you so much. I think you really championed it.
I have a master's in administrative leadership. I have my major is in physical education and education. I have a minor in geography, geology, and political science. Go figure. Because I like this stuff, and I went to school to do things I was interested in, and I'm interested in these things. And I think I voted in almost all parties since I've turned 18. So like, I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not an independent. I'm not forward. I vote for who I think is going to be the best person for me at that particular point in time. And that's where my alignment for me and my personal family. And it might be selfish, but you know what? I can be selfish. I'm not hurting anyone else. I'm going to be positive with that. With said, I don't know if I can end any better than that, but I do end it with a peace sign. So if you're listening, get those peace signs ready. If you are in spaces, January, thank you. Daddy Phil, thank you. Web3 Weekly Pod, thank you. Daddy Phil and Web3. We'll be back next Wednesday. We'll try to tune it in a little bit better. But these are live business meetings as we go live in the Novoverse this Saturday, Mint Day. Help out the Utah politician. Mint City C NFT, like Mint City for C for Cardano NFT. Get it there, and you're helping a cause, and you're making history for history's sake. So with that being said, I'm Crypto Novo. Stay positive and love life. Peace. Cue music. Too many buttons.